Welcome to Ethereal Aeons Activation. Hi, I am Lesly Damai. Thank you for tuning into this podcast episode. If you're new to the channel, I'm glad you found your way here. Go ahead and subscribe as I post weekly and tend to premiere my videos so you can tune into my premieres. And if you're returning, I'm so grateful to you. Hope you guys are all doing wonderful. Let me know how life's treating you currently, to all my fellow awakened beings. So in this video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about the importance of protecting yourself in this realm. And I'm going to be letting you guys know how I protect myself and how you can protect yourself as well. Because the war on human consciousness is more prevalent than ever. The amount of real players in the simulation getting impeded on a daily basis is increasing. Okay, it's coming to a place where it never rests. And the machine is able to access more beings and to hijack. And not only that, it has its eye on you. The realm we live in is, it's completely hardwired this way so that this can happen. But yet here we are, the awakened ones, the ones who are completely aware of it. We see it, we feel it, and we've grown spiritually despite of it. Let us use this as an opportunity to practice how we master our energy and our mindset here. This is the ultimate way to do it because we have all of these interdimensional eyes on us, and we have we are now living in a simulation that is completely entangled with the AI on a whole new level. And so the fact that we are still able to proclaim our sovereignty despite all of this, let's take it to the next level. Okay, so this will be the ultimate practice on how to master your energy and your mindset, how to master thyself. Remember, when you're navigating in this matrix, to keep your emotions out of the toxicity, or it will consume you. And when it consumes you, you become it. It can be very frustrating at times. So I get it. I totally get it, especially when you see it play out non-stop. And so what this is teaching you is how to master your own emotions and what you decide to feed energetically. That is the thing. And with the electromagnetic warfare happening simultaneously, it's going to make it a lot more difficult. But again, no matter how much they try to throw their shit our way, we always find a way to alchemize it. We always find a way to filter out the BS, to filter out the darkness. And we come back stronger. Because what's happening now is like the elite as well, they're throwing out all these tactics. And they throw out these tactics to set back the conscious beings. It is because they don't have another option. They don't have any other stream of awareness to look past their own limitations or putting on themselves. But we do, you see? We do because we're not coming from a place of hate. And so no matter how inverted this realm is, we cannot be coming from a place of hate. Now, I have a lot of energy within me that I can wield to use back at them as well. And it may look like it's anger or it may look like ravenous, but it's because it's a lot of fire within myself. And so it's important to remember to use your own fire as well. And it's okay to do that. It's okay to be the energetic warrior. It's okay to be the guardian of the light, whatever you want to call yourself. I'm not going to be living inside a Truman Show and just playing along with all the characters next to me either. Like, that's not what I'm going to be doing my entire life because I've already done that for too long. And so many of us have, right? I mean, think about if you've ever had a job that you couldn't stand, but you still had to put on that face. So the fine balance here is, how do you remain the spiritual warrior, maintain that inner fire blazing, yet make it so precise that it will not deter you in your own sovereignty, in your relationships, in your soul purpose and in the way that you maneuver in your own world moment by moment. So what I wanted to do was offer you guys some ways and some strategies super quickly here. I'm just going to go over with you 2 different ways you can begin to create your own astral and physical weapon. Okay? This is going to be like not a weapon intended to fight someone. It's more so like an offensive type of item you can carry with you, where if you are attacked astrally, spiritually, then it can possibly be deflected from you. So what I'm talking about here is a talisman or a sigil. In this podcast, I'll go over different ways you can protect your energy in public, okay? With these physical and astral pieces that can be imbued with your own energy. So first and foremost, what is a talisman? What is a sigil? So sigils are symbols which embody an energy, and sometimes it can also embody an entity. So when you create a sigil, its meaning is seal. So you're sealing something, you're containing an energy within this symbol, and it's created with a specific intention, a magical intention. And so these symbols, once activated by the practitioner, will embody the energy that it carries. So very commonly used are the Pentacles of Solomon. So there's 7 different types that are very prominent in magic, and they represent different planetary intelligences and energies. So for example, there's 44 in total. And for example, 7 of those are Jupiter Pentacles. And each one has a different symbol and intention. And if you've never looked into these, I'll go ahead and just place some imagery here. And if not, I'll have a link to some more information so you guys can look at them. They're written in Hebrew, and they all have completely different energies in them for the most part. And so this is one way of having a sigil, which you can use that symbol and put it in a necklace. So they sell them as necklaces a lot of the times, or you can make your own. And so once your sigil becomes more portable and able to be placed like on an item, then it becomes a talisman. Okay? So a talisman can be used in a lot more ways, whereas a sigil is often used when conducting a spell, let's say. So for example, I just had a ritual take place and we created our own sigils in the spell. And I taught everyone there how to create 2 different ways to make your own custom sigil based upon your intention. So it was great. I mean, I really like doing it this way a lot more now because you can get so much more creative. If you guys are interested in learning how to create your own sigils, let me know. I have that ritual available for replay, and it was an hour and a half. I did everything from the opening ceremony to the sacred circle. We went through everything, but I was really able to guide the coven step by step. And please be advised, I do not call to entities. I did mention the Pentacles of Solomon because they're just very common, basic ones. As I said, I create my own sigils, and I really like that way. I've connected to the energy so much more this way. So anyhow, so after we made the sigil, we activated it, put our intention into it, can then create that sigil, the symbol. It's like a geometrical symbol that you make, and you can engrave it into a candle, and then you can burn that candle to send that energy out even more as a beacon of light, an additional source of this energy, using the fire energy there. However, I can also just make that sigil into a small, I can literally put it on a sticky note or make it like in a small square and carry it in my wallet. And that energy is in there. Now, be aware, you have to continue to, energize that sigil. And if you don't always have it in your hand, even by thinking about it and saying the incantation of it. So for example, let's say you make one that says, I am divine intelligence, right? Or maybe you want a protective one and you can create your own intent, right? Just by activating it and reviewing the shape of the symbol you've created in your mind and tracing it astrally to activate it, it will give that more juice and give that more power. So here's my story. I have quite a few about how important it is to carry these items with you. Okay, so my talisman, so now we're talking about the talisman. These are the objects you can carry with you that hold the essence of a magical purpose. So for example, I have a couple. I have one here. It's actually the talisman of the High Priestess, and this was gifted to me. And I love this little piece because I was trying to embody the High Priestess a lot more a couple years back. And so when it was gifted to me, I took this necklace and I put all my intention into it because I knew that this necklace, even it could have been made in China. I don't know where this necklace was made, but for me, seeing the High Priestess there, I said, this is an archetypal energy that I want to embody, which means I have it in me already. It just must be activated. And so I held on to the necklace and I thought, this is my opportunity. This is my opportunity now. This was gifted to me. This is my opportunity. And I have held that necklace near me for a while. And next to that necklace, I have a little pendant, which is linked to a radionics machine. It's a little Oregon pendant. These two talisman together are very powerful to me. So just the other day, I was leaving my home to go walk down the street to go pick up a couple things from a small market. And I was just going to walk there because it's a 2-minute walk. So it was a pretty heavy day energetically. I got about 1 block down the street and started getting, hassled by these 2 guys. And I just kept walking. And it was just the basic, like, hey, where you going? Where you headed to type of thing. And I'm like, fuck off in my mind. And so I get 2 blocks down. I end up running into our neighbor who is notorious for screaming and yelling, and their daughter, who is even more notorious to screaming and yelling. And sure enough, I get to the little store and there's a neighbor screaming and yelling at her daughter, and the daughter's screaming and yelling back. So I'm like, mother freaking Matrix, dude. Like, can't even take a 3-minute walk and pick up a couple items without having to deal with the charades. Exaggeratedly hectic inside the little store because we're in low season here. And the occupancy rate of where I'm living right now is it's a fraction at what it usually is. So right now, to see these commotions happen in front of you, and then all of a sudden walk down the street and there's like 7 security guards standing in front of a gate and just all of this commotion. I just know what it is. It's just the theater show. So I was like, whatever, just get me out of here. And so one of the guys walks by me and I shield myself and I took a sharp step forward, like closer towards the aisle so he can just walk behind me and not try to run into me. And I think I did a good job because right after that, I heard him tell his friend, he said, all right, just get in line, let's go. And I'm like, yeah, you better leave. So they left and, the mom and the daughter and then the 2 guys were walking down the same street I had to walk down so I could see them in front of me. So I just kind of waited along for them to leave even more. But I was pretty, I was furious kind of, to be honest, because I'm like, I just took a 3-minute walk. Oh, and then there was a cop car who had detained a car exactly where I saw the 2 guys originally with all the doors wide open. Again, never seen a cop car pull anyone over in Costa Rica. I've been here for 6 months, but since it had to put on a show, it put on a show. So I get back in, I talk to my partner. I'm like, you're not going to believe what just happened. He's like, dude, you were gone for like 5 minutes. I told him the story and I go, and I just so happened to grab my necklaces right before I left the house. And then I touched my necklace. And as soon as I touched it, my High Priestess, silver, it's shaped like a little silver rectangle, it breaks off. And it's just in my hand. And I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, this thing just shielded me. So you see, it took the negative energy frequencies being thrown my way. And I don't know who those two guys were. Their energy signature is not very familiar to these parts. I've encountered people like this. These are the type of people that if you were in an empty, dark, like alley, they'd fuck with you. So whatever was thrown my way was deflected by my talisman. You see, it absorbed it. And this is very common with crystals, especially if you sleep with protective crystals around you. Those things will break. And I had a selenite dagger, which broke not too long ago, and I've had it for over a year. And it broke right off at the handle. First, it chipped. You'll find little chips in them, and you're like, oh, you had a little astral battle or something. But these things absorb the negative energies. That's what they are for. That's what these protective talisman are for. So if you have like certain rings you wear, I also have my main rings. So I ask you, what items do you have that when you put on, you're like, all right, this is my armor, this is my gear. But this is something I wanted to share with you guys to offer some ease if you are feeling any psychic attacks, if you are getting, messed with in the matrix. Carry your sacred item, your talisman, your protection. And again, a talisman can be for anything. It can be for love, but I tend to have mine as a protection to my energy field, and to do its job of deflecting anything negative that may come my way. And it's done it beautifully. So I hope this has been helpful to you guys. And again, if you would like more information on my rituals, you can check out my website, etherealaeonsactivation.com. I'll also have the link below. Sending you so much love, and I will talk to you soon.